June 16th at 6 p.m., come to the Woodbury 10 to see the full Paprika series that my uncle made.
You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. Hello and welcome to Movie Beaters with the Farx brothers. I'm Kirk.
I forgot my cup over there.
Can you grab my
have
cup
it now. I'm Kyle Farx.
I'm Brayden.
Brayden. And we're joined with Alex Marvin, cinematographer, videographer, and photographer. Sorry, I almost forgot.
And he produces.
Oh, you're a producer too?
You
A
mentioned
little
that.
bit, yeah. I've kind of been forced to figure it out to some extent, yeah.
It's kind of like being in sales. We're all always in sales. We're all always producers. So why the hell did you pick this movie, and how do you say it?
Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Or sorry, I Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Skotsi.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Skotsi. Because there's a SC. I was looking at this the whole time watching it going,
How do you
It's
say
a
that?
SQ, but, right? SQA. Yeah.
I know what said at the what language is this?
It's Hopi.
Yeah, it's
it's Native American.
Yeah, Native
Yep.
Americans too.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny. Both the movies have Native American ties. But how Koyaanisqatsi.
It's a hard word to
It's
say.
gonna be the whole
Koyaanisqatsi.
the whole thing.
Koyaanisqatsi.
That's pretty much it.
Say it again.
Koyaanisqatsi. Koyaanisqatsi. You didn't get the song, didn't drill it in your head?
Koyaanisqatsi.
So you haven't seen it?
No, I watched the
No,
whole thing.
yeah, I've seen it too.
Okay,
Yeah, we all
yeah.
see it.
They're like saying it slowly throughout like the
Yeah.
whole film.
Yeah, but
I still couldn't get
I
it.
wasn't gonna like mimic it. That's not okay, is it? Koyaanisqatsi. Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
cool.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
So why did you pick it?
Because it's Earth Day. You know, I would love
Okay.
to just chat about Ice Road, and I'm excited to. And also, I think there's like more important things to chat about with just like our relationship with the Earth and our relationship with like nature and what we're doing unconsciously to one another and like to our environment. And I think Koyaanisqatsi kind of highlights a number of those questions. And I think it especially really highlights like the default state of mind really well in like a very like slow way.
The default state of mind?
Yeah, just kind of like operating on autopilot, just going about day to day, not really paying attention or like considering like what one is a part of, just like the default mode network.
That is how, and I don't want to spoil anything because we're in non-spoilers for
I think you really spoiled this.
Koyaanisqatsi. Yeah,
You-
you
you
can.
can- I don't think you can spoil this
What
movie.
it means, no, I very much believe you can spoil this movie. If you've never watched it before, like, I suppose we can talk about, it's all, it's dialogue-less.
Yeah, there's some words that like show up on the screen, but there's no narrative. There's no one speaking besides the singing like in the background, which is like they're speaking there and they're speaking about different like prophecies of like the world ending, basically.
That's the spoilers. When I got to the end and read it, like I didn't know what I won't say the spoiler yet, but when you read what the prophecy is, I was like, oh, that's scary. Because they showed it to you, right?
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, a number of those things, and like we can get to it later. It's like I would describe a number of those things as like happening right now.
As however you feel comfortable describing it, I understand we're trying to not spoil Koyaanisqatsi. See if I do it.
You sing it, yeah.
Yeah, if I
Well,
sing it,
that was still wrong, but it's
I'm
like,
never gonna get it right. I watched this thing and I was like, I feel like I reached a default mind state watching it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. It's not like a movie where I'm going, okay, here's what's gonna happen next. I'm like, what are they telling me? And like, how do I attach narratives to things?
Yeah, I think one of the beautiful things is there's a lot of like interpretation. I mean, obviously core themes include nature, technology, and the constructed environment, and then our relationship as like humans in the constructed environment within nature. And, I wouldn't describe it totally as a spoiler because you could just look up the name of the title and you might find interpretations. But, one of the translations of Koyaanisqatsi is life out of harmony. And kind of like one of my interpretations of that is like life more drastically separated from nature. And I think that's like one of the huge themes of the film is just like our separation like from nature. And they're showing, kind of like right away there's scenes that I assume is in like the desert Southwest. They're in like a helicopter. It's just like barren. It's like ancient seabed. Like 200 or 300 million years ago, this might have been like an ocean of some kind, but it's like devoid of life. There doesn't seem to be any people. There doesn't seem to be any greenery. There doesn't seem to be any life. And then, that's kind of like paired against like this really tight shot of a rocket like leaving the Earth. And then it just kind of like goes in, to all sorts of just like manufactured, more straight lines, more rectangles. There's like apartments that are really like projects or like massive like blocks. And they're showing just like, a lot of the patterns of the city and how the patterns of like the city kind of like scale or are related in pattern to like tiny electronics and how like these kind of like patterns like show up kind of like in our world and a little bit like with nature as well.
There's definitely patterns in nature, but they're more like they seem more intricate and beautiful than like the patterns that we create as humans, especially in some of the brutalism. Like this is, am I correct in using some of this is brutalist architecture? I know he saw the brutalist last year. So
I wouldn't call it that.
Like the buildings? No.
No, they're pretty. I don't know. Generic looking. I don't know. They're not very.
Brutalism.
Is it the generic?
Well, one thing about brutalism is, from my understanding, brutalism was like, okay, so like good architecture, in my opinion, should inspire people.
Sure.
In one way or another. Brutalism is inspired, like it wants to do the opposite. It wants to like put people down.
Yeah.
It doesn't want people to like think creatively, and like I think there is something to say about like being in like a minimalist environment. Maybe you can have like clearer thoughts, but like brutalism is like. It's supposed to put people down. And this architecture, it's probably not brutalism, but it's definitely on that, it's in the flavor of uninspiring. In like like kind of a deep and like, one might say like a sickening way, like a really monotonous way.
Yeah, so listen, my hippie colleague. What I feel like you asked us to watch this movie for is that we need to be closer to the Earth. And I'm saying, maybe you're not wrong. Dear brother Nick, what did you take from this movie?
No, it's not Nick. It's not Nick. It's
yeah,
what's your
dear
name?
brother
Brayden.
Brayden.
Whatever.
Dear brother Brayden. What I was shocked. The first thing, so I sent them the link. I didn't even look at what movie you said. You sent me a link, and I was like, okay, I'll just tell them. And then I found out through him that it had no dialogue. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
15 minutes.
All right.
First 15 minutes, there's no dialogue. There's no road narrator. There's somebody singing in the background. It's a lot of landscape shots.
Say the name.
I can't. I'm not going to try. Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi. Skotsi.
No ski at the end.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Skotsi.
Skotsi?
No, ski. C.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi.
All right.
It's not a Polish. Because I can, the Polish skis.
Sure.
Let
Yeah,
Brayden
yeah,
answer your question.
Brother Brayden, what did you take from your first thing, and this is me stalling for you, and you'll wink when you're ready. You said, "Oh, Philip Glass did the music. I like Philip Glass."
I mean, I knew that this was something. I've known of these movies. There's 3 of them.
Oh,
Three
what?
of them, right? Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Trilogy,
There's, oh shit! What are the?
How am I finding this out right now?
Is it Powakatsi?
Something like that, yeah.
And then Noyakatsi?
This is something you learn in like film school when you're like going to MCTC. You're
And
like,
then there's also Samsara, which is like some of the same like people, and that is also like I would say like in that series.
why did you know about this movie?
I don't know. It goes back. I've known about them for longer than I can remember and tell you how I learned of them.
People really like this movie.
I understand that.
It was shot on 70 millimeter IMAX, the whole thing. I mean, that's a powerful gesture to just lug around that thing. And
Yeah.
every shot was
Is that
made.
true?
That's my understanding.
Really?
All of them are on 70 millimeter.
Oh, I didn't know. Like, because 1982, I didn't know if they were there yet with the film, the IMAX film.
Well, And I guess like that'd be worth just like verifying. I'm pretty sure it was all 70 millimeter.
That would make sense though, because I'm watching it on not that big of a TV, 45-inch or something, and I'm like, I was like, at the shots. Like,
You were jaw dropped by the shots.
yes.
What about them?
I think it is like a large,
Format?
what you get with a large format. I think it's the feeling I normally get used to get a lot when you were seeing stuff shot on like 65, like digital 65 or large format was just kind of still a new thing in the past like 6 or 7 years. But then they do a shot of that and then be like, wow, it just feels like big and expansive. It's hard to describe. It's like how trying to describe like an anamorphic sort of like pushes the background and it just feels bigger.
Oh, that was what I was thinking was when you said it. Is the thing with anamorphic is that it's like taking this, like it's concave, taking the sides of like what I could see in the maximum and then making it square?
Yeah, well, I'm curious how you would describe it. The way I describe it is, you think of it as like just gathering more and squeezing it, but it also kind of, it's like the background enters closer at the sides than it does with a spherical lens, right? Which is just a regular lens. So it's almost like it's pushing the background farther away so that you see more of it. And I don't know. That's how I describe it. That's how I think of it. But
How would you you're a camera guy.
I mean,
you're a scientist.
I'm not certain if they used anamorphic lenses on this project. Perhaps. But I mean, the key thing is this 70 millimeter format and just going from a 35 millimeter diameter rectangle to a 70 millimeter. That real estate is it's like almost 4 times.
Yeah.
And so the resolution is just enormous and just gives it that staying power. And especially like back then to be shooting on this format, it's a very powerful gesture to like be in these spaces and to have these like super telephoto perspectives and just capturing this footage for these long-term projects. I think they spent like $2.5 million on this project back in the day.
This is in the 70s?
82.
This is 82.
Well, I don't know.
It came out in 82.
Yeah.
And it might have been filmed for 5 years prior to that. I don't know.
Yeah, because looking at the way people were dressed and stuff, it was like, oh, this is not now. This is the past. No one's got a cell phone.
Oh yeah, but
Not
like
that much,
82,
yeah.
82, 78, like yeah, but I wouldn't doubt that they were filming it for several years prior to, like way longer than like a narrative film.
What did you think it was saying when you watched it? Did you take this whole Earth Day thing from it?
What's that?
Did you take the Earth Day thing from it?
I didn't make that connection, but I wasn't closely following that it was Earth Day.
Today is Earth Day.
I mean, yeah, I know.
This
I
isn't
know
coming
it's
out on
today.
Earth Day. You're not listening to this or watching it on Earth Day, but
Or like looking ahead to like what date or whatever. Wait, though, it's always the 22nd, right?
it is always April 22nd.
So
I know
but
because
it's also, yeah, okay.
they celebrate it at children's school, and you have to sign permission slips for them to go on Earth Day adventures.
Oh,
So I knew it was Earth Day today.
So it's the other way around. It's me just not keeping track of what date it is currently. I felt I definitely saw a potential narrative, like starting with like natural, like, the earth and everything, the desert and all that stuff. And then kind of transitioning to like manufacturing and then city stuff. But also maybe there were parallels between all like the, all that fast motion footage of like the people going on escalators, all just like the traffic and all of that stuff. I wonder if there's like intentional parallels there between stuff that was in like the earlier part of the movie, where everything was still natural, and then like maybe the chaos going on there, but now here's the same kind of chaos, or it parallels the chaos in the present, what was present day at the time, with all the traffic and all the people, and like you built all this stuff and you came all this way, but you're like in the same place. I don't know. That's one thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of the themes they kind of highlighted specifically with the time lapse of people going like up and down the escalator and presumably like rush hour time. It's like that's a very like unnatural like place. It's underground. It's in a subway. There's like all of these things, but also like the movement kind of resembles water, or like glaciers, like ice fall, like moving, and there's like a number of other scenes of like cars passing, and they kind of frame it in a way that it's like one can imagine it's like a river, and there are some of these like nature oriented compositions in like the manufactured space, I would say.
Okay, so sorry. I was
Oh,
gonna
well, I didn't see that at
I
all.
was going to debate that. I thought what they were trying to say was, hey, look at the like it makes me sick sometimes just watching the whoosh people, and then the more natural, like, look at the rolling sand hills, and look at how, nature is just at peace, and then all the, civilization, as it were, coming in and wrecking it. And then I saw the Atari logo in the traffic, and I was like, "Did they take that? What, you never? Did you guys?
I didn't see the Atari logo.
You didn't see
Where'd
the
you see
Atari
that?
logo
No.
with like in one of the traffic scenes?
No, I don't think it
I
was
don't
important.
recall.
Oh no, my conspiracy theory is that the Atari Corporation stole their logo from this movie. Like
All
one of
right.
those people running the company was like. I think that's how that worked. And I dare the Atari Corporation to prove me wrong.
Where's this going? What are you talking about?
I don't like when you say, where is this going?
Yeah.
I'm making an accusation against the Atari Corporation.
It's
which
nothing to
I'm
do
sure
with
has been-
Atari. Isn't Atari a video game company?
Yeah, but it came out in 1982, didn't it? Same time as this movie?
I don't know exactly when Atari.
It didn't say Atari on the bottom of the logo you saw?
No, it did not in this movie. No. When did the
Oh,
Atari
okay.
come out? I
I
feel
have
like
no
that's
idea.
something that would... It was 78 or 82. I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was
around that
82.
time, but
Did you have an Atari ever? Were you a video game guy?
Oh yeah, I played a lot, an excessive amount of video games.
Do you still play
growing
video
up.
games?
Nope, not so much. I mean, okay, I play like chess online, but like I wouldn't call that a video game.
Do you think
if you
that-
can wear a headset and call each other, like, hurl
Names.
slurs at each other in an online
It's a
game,
video
then it's a
game?
game.
Yeah.
So when they do that with chess, then it can
It's sport if you can die. It's a game if you can hurl slurs.
over at total
Sport if you
strangers,
die.
yes,
Yeah,
and dox
okay.
them and whatever. Yeah.
Dogs.
Wow.
With your comment on like feeling like unsettled about the juxtaposition, do you
Oh, yeah.
feel that way like coming into the city or being in like super urban environments? Because
Like
that was
guarded?
definitely one of my interpretations of the film, is just like kind of how yucky it can feel to be in some of these super developed spaces.
Yeah.
There's beautiful things too, and there's inspiring energy, and it's also that juxtaposition I think was deliberate in the way they framed it in this film.
So in the natural true story of the Farx brothers being separated from our original Farx family, I grew up rural in a different place than these guys grew up, even though they are my brothers. So I prefer urban environments to rural environments. Like, I'm a city cat. I'm not a country cat, and I don't intend to pretend otherwise. You're thinking of a pussy joke, aren't you?
No.
Okay,
No.
just thinking of a different joke. But no, like my biggest complaint growing up would be, well, I have to travel to an IMAX theater, whereas now I have several IMAX theaters that I can drive to. They're IMAXs. I miss our real IMAX, since you brought that up. But any movie that pretty much comes out, I have the ability to see with any of the 17 theaters I can get to, whereas where I grew up, there were only 2 different movie theaters. And for some rural people, like up in Alaska, maybe, that probably sounds bonkers. So no, I like urban environments. But you feel that way even though you grew up urban and now you go super rural?
I mean, in a way, I kind of feel that way right now, and in the last week, just being out in the field for 5 weeks, and now I'm back in the urban environment, and I'm just kind of like maintaining
out.
my energy, and like I'm going to be spending some time in the woods soon, and I like to be like, especially lately, more rural.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Could you describe that feeling more to us? I want
Well,
to
have you ever seen the Milky Way?
Yes.
What was that like the first time you vividly saw the Milky Way?
Makes me feel small. And alone. And
Crowded.
fucked.
You feel alone when you see the Milky Way?
Yeah.
I feel like together when I see the Milky Way.
You didn't see Project Hail Mary. Like, I think there's a lot of blank space out there, and I hope there's other things, and if those ever encounter us, I think it'll be much different than we expect. But
Well, I don't think that's you looking at the Milky Way. I think that's your perception that you're alone in the universe.
I feel as a human lonely in the universe. You feel more connected to the universe when you look at the Milky Way.
I feel like much more connected looking at the stars, definitely.
When you've vividly seen the Northern Lights, as I have, how do you feel?
You know, I saw it once so vividly. It's like the greens and the purples and the reds are dancing naked eye. It's like I almost wanted to just fall over. And it's just like, it's totally humbling to see some of these like natural phenomena, and especially to consider with the Northern Lights specifically. It's like without our atmosphere, it's like I might be getting just zapped by these solar flares, and just they're just getting eaten up by the atmosphere, and it's like protecting us in this kind of like beautiful and aesthetic way. And it's also not every year the Northern Lights are excellent. It's like there's like an 11-year cycle, and we're kind of in like the peak of that 11-year cycle still. And it's just totally stunning. Yeah.
So I tell the Northern Lights every time I see her. We're at the peak of your 11-year cycle, baby.
After that, you're no good.
Have either of you seen the Milky Way, and how did it make you feel?
I have not.
It looked a little crowded, honestly. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stars, planets, mostly stars, suns.
Well, I think especially if like, you know, you lean into this idea that the universe is just like chaos and everything's random and there's like no order and anything and there's nothing worth like understanding. It's like the ancients. It's like they look into the stars and they'd see, oh, this rotates with periodicity. This moves with periodicity. We can predict when like these things are happening, and like we see the Milky Way coming and going, and we'll make like art about it. And you know, I thought, you know, I think they found these experiences like quite grounding, like as well. Like it's very expansive, but it's also like, wow, you know, what are we really so concerned about? What are we really so worried about? And I think a lot of these experiences, like they're not like actively trying to disconnect us from like seeing the Milky Way, but light pollution is disconnecting a lot of people from being able to have these experiences that might have been a totally normal occurrence at different points in history and different parts of the world.
I did have the thought of, you know how when people go to space for the first time, they look back at the planet. They go like,
yeah.
What?
I heard that.
When you went to space?
No, he was laughing because I
Yeah.
touched my mic and I shouldn't touch my mic.
I do love that you, George of the Jungle, often. When astronauts look back at the Earth from space, they say, "What are we fighting about, man? These are just lines on the ground. We are all just part of one living organism floating through space." You've heard? You guys? No one's heard of this. Y'all looking at me? Astronauts.
I mean, like I kind of think that way to some extent. Yeah, definitely.
Why is there ever a war? Why would we develop more nuclear weapons? Like we can already blow up the world 7 times over with the ones that exist. Why wouldn't we be trying to build spaceships or, you know, things that can exist out in the celestial space?
Well, and I think that's one of the contemporary interpretations of Koyaanisqatsi is this idea of like billionaires trying to put themselves in a position to leave Earth or to shield themselves from catastrophe, either by being deep in the ground, deep in the ocean, or like in orbit. And like Koyaanisqatsi, right, one of the first scenes was like a rocket taking off, and there's no real context for like what the rocket's for. And then at the end, the rocket comes back, and it's like there's all of this like urban nature kind of like conflict that can be interpreted, and then the rocket takes off.
Oh, no,
and it crashes. Yeah,
I can connect what that is, but I'll do it in spoilers.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to end the non-spoilers. We'll see you in spoilers. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.